Our next speaker is Robert Gray, a dairy farmer from Dunblane here in Scotland. He enjoys, another one who enjoys watching rugby matches and socialising, I assume, after the matches. His topic is a blueprint for Scottish agriculture post-Brexit, where he's keen to set up investment farming structures. He's supported by Anne and Alan Beckett. Thank you.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honour I stand here today to present to you my Nuffield Farming Scholarships study. Firstly, I'd like to take the chance to thank Alan and Anne Beckett for being incredibly understanding and supportive of me and my circumstances. I'd also like to thank Heather Wildman for her support and motivation throughout my Nuffield journey, and my wife Rona and her family for supporting me through my study, but also the building of our new farm. On leaving school at 16, I travelled to New Zealand, where I started my career in the dairy industry. Over the next 7 years, I progressed through the New Zealand dairy system and purchased my own block of land in Paeatua. I sold up and I returned to Scotland in 2011, where I joined my parents in partnership on the family farm. At the time, they were sheep and beef farming, and we converted in 2014 to dairy, a entirely spring calving Jersey herd. And in autumn 15, I was awarded a Nuffield Scholarship. During the next year, an opportunity arose, a bare land block, which my wife and I took the decision to leave the business and start out on our own. Over the first winter, we bought cows, got mains electricity, and we ploughed forward with building an access track, a dairy shed, and since then we've never stopped building. We've built cubicle sheds, slurry lagoons, tracks, fences, silage pit, mains and borehole water, and developed a lot of the wasteland into pastures. On top of all this, we found ourselves in an access dispute with Transport Scotland and living in a caravan. So it's been quite a challenging time to fit in a Nuffield Scholarship. Some of the pictures. My initial scholarship was adding value in marketing the farm's produce. I was eager to learn why we're not exporting more and how I could produce my own products. Early on in my Nuffield journey, I realised we import 90% of all our dairy products. So why on earth would I want to focus on exporting when we have such a massive deficit here in the UK? I was fortunate enough to be awarded a place in the Global Focus programme. In the summer of 16, we travelled to Singapore, Indonesia, Japan, Israel, Netherlands and USA. I cannot stress enough how fantastic an opportunity this was. Some of the places I never even knew existed, and I'll never have the chance maybe to go there again. On the day of the Brexit vote, I was standing at Golan Heights in Israel, looking out on a war-torn Syria. This was a poignant time. I wondered, what are the British people wishing for by breaking free from Europe? I started to think, yes, this will bring challenges to many sectors, but this could be our biggest opportunity for British dairy farming and many other sectors, including forestry, seed potatoes, deer, fish, to name a few. So my now title, A Blueprint for Scottish Dairy Post-Brexit, was born. On my study, I travelled to Chile, Uruguay, Ireland and Qatar, the fastest growing dairy farm in the world. In Ireland, I've seen a good number of farming systems that were very focused on their cost of production and profit margins. The majority were grass-based dairy systems. Farmers farming together in cooperative structure are now doing a great job marketing the milk. One of the main barriers I've seen was the very high price of land, which makes payback on investment lengthy, and large areas of land scarce or unattainable. Ireland are very reliant on exports, particularly here to the UK. Qatar Bladna Farms is a huge corporate farm in the desert, set up by oil money and backed by the state. Bladna dived into dairy farming after blockades were imposed by neighbouring states. They needed milk in a hurry, so Bladna flew thousands of cows in jumbo jets and a milking parlour in a jumbo jet to start milk within weeks of the blockade. This was not financially producing a return on investment, or is unlikely to, in the distant future, but it has solved a supply issue. Given that we import 90% of dairy products, in the event of a hard Brexit, will we be in a similar deficit situation that Qatar found themselves in? Chile. Manuka has opened a whole new avenue of thinking to me. They use large-scale capital investment to buy land and complete a number of dairy conversions, replicated on the same structural model. Qatar has a comparatively low land price when comparing globally, and has a good amount of natural rainfall to sustain a good grass-growing season. I found the climate in Chile surprisingly comparative to the UK, which made me think. So my vision for British dairy: cows should go back to grazing naturally. Livestock should eat primarily grass, self-grazed outdoors wherever possible. I believe the most profitable way to convert grass into cash is through dairy farming. The simplest systems return the highest profit per hectare. Food safety. It must be a key priority for our government. If the horse meat scandal, or more frighteningly, melamine and infant formula, are taken as examples, not all countries operate at the same high-quality standards as the UK does. It must be monitored closely after Brexit. I believe as a country we need to seriously look at investing into dairy processing capacity to convert raw milk into more products. We should be diverting funds from subsidies into infrastructure and marketing. Grass-based dairy farming works in the UK. The country produces nutritional milk to as high a quality as anywhere else in the world, safely produced in the UK at a very competitive price. Agriculture needs to be made a more attractive industry to people to become involved with. Increased opportunities for building equity through share farming contracts are needed. A step career pathway where people progress from farm worker to farm manager to owning their own livestock, buying into a business, and finally owning their own farm. This needs to be widely introduced. So next steps for me. My goal is to set up an investment company to purchase land in Scotland and convert this into dairy farming. utilising a stepped career pathway to manage these farms. The biggest challenges I see is finding milk buyers in Scotland. It's very limited, and to get a new contract is very difficult. This graph shows an example of dairy land prices that are growing comparatively approximately 12 tonne of dry matter per hectare. These 5 countries, as you can see, Scotland offers the lowest land price for a similar production. One of my favourite pastimes is studying farms that are currently for sale, and if I bought them, how would I logistically structure a dairy on them? Run some budgets and see how it turns out. I have hundreds of comparative profits that are lying everywhere in the caravan. Using data from HDB benchmarking figures, I believe these figures could be realistically achieved. Grass-based dairy farming can provide a good return on investment and can be done without subsidies. Thank you.